an investigation into tempo rhythm in the voice in relation to Brecht's Verfremdung with reference to the concept of the free voice. A person's voice can communicate not just words, but meanings, emotions, and even one's social background. The tempo rhythm of the voice is one such aspect that is used to assist in its communication. Separately, the term rhythm can be defined as a pattern, and tempo is the pace at which the pattern runs. In musical terms, the rhythm would be the placement of notes in a bar, with defined distances between those notes, and the tempo is the speed at which that pattern of notes is played. The root of the human voice, and therefore the foundation that underpins the human vocal tempo rhythm, is the breath. Utilising breath is essential for an actor to convey a message to an audience, no matter what style of actor the actor is performing within, whether it be Konstantin Stanislavski's realism or Bertolt Brecht's dialectical performances. Brecht's term Verfremdung is often mistranslated to the alienation of an audience, whereas a more accurate definition would be an estrangement of the audience from the action on stage. This estrangement, or distance between actor and spectator, allows the spectator to witness and be critical of the action on stage. As David Zub states, and I quote, "Brecht wants practitioners and spectators to avoid taking what they see for granted. Verfremdung occurs when a moment of action enables the viewer to see a character or social phenomenon from a new and/or unexpected perspective." End quote, Zug 2018. One technique that is key in developing Verfremdung in performance is the use of contradictions, because they convey specific messages to the spectator about a character or their situation. Contradictions are also a useful aid for the character in their development of a more complex character on stage, because people, and I quote, exhibit the contradictions of their times in their own behaviour. End quote, Barnett 2015. For example, a character that has a rapid vocal tempo rhythm combined with a contrasting, sustained, slow, inner tempo rhythm creates a character that is trying to contain something. When viewing this through Verfremdung, the duality of this character could be split between containing inner grief or depression while simultaneously lashing out in anger and rage. These contradictions can be developed practically through experimentation with the voice and physical gestures. One such example of a technique that can be used are Rudolf Laban's ethics, which can be applied as physical qualities and then transformed into vocal qualities. To refer back to the aforementioned emotional character, the angry vocals may have a slashing quality, but the physicality or inner quality of the actor can be gliding to reflect the suspended inner rhythm. Therefore, within Verfremdung, vocal tempo rhythm can create characters that communicate an intended message to the spectator. As Elon Morris explains, and I quote, "Brecht saw the rhythms of the actor as a means of engaging the audience's critical thinking. Rather than seducing an audience with the rhythmic flow of a performance, he looked to use irregular rhythms and distinct tempos as a way of disrupting expectation and sharpening perceptions." End quote, Morris 2017. For example, a character singing in an upbeat, chirpy vocal tempo rhythm, but also struggling to breathe in between verses, displays the character's discomfort to the spectator if they are listening carefully. Referring now to the concept of the free voice, which was developed by voice practitioners such as Kristen Linklater, Cicely Berry, and Patsy Rodenberg, and can be defined as an actor's natural voice, unrestricted by unnecessary physical and mental tension. This unrestricted voice is free in its sound and clarity, but also in a societal sense. As Linklater states, it is, and I quote, "a vocal technique that serves the freedom of human expression." End quote, Linklater 2006. Practical development of this free human expression can be done through vocal exercises that allow for a release of emotional energy and create a freer tone for the actor's voice, such as finding points of resonance on the body. The free human expression can also be used as a devising tool when speaking in a stream of consciousness. Often people, particularly in British culture, are told to think before they speak and to take careful consideration of their words to prevent offending whomever they are speaking to. By removing these aspects and placing an actor in a space that has a set amount of time to just speak without anyone listening, that actor can then develop what their personal free voice is in that specific moment. These two aspects of the free voice, the physically free and the societally free, can then be combined in vocal improvisations, where the actor can create free sounds but also speak whatever they want. The free voice also allows for a connection between the actor and the spectator, especially when the spectator is aware the actor has broken character and is now speaking emotionally charged words as his or herself. The The spectator can be aware of this change through disruption of the vocal tempo rhythm, as suddenly the actor is not speaking lines as their character, but using their own individual vocal habits, in other words, using their free voice. Emotion and tempo rhythm are connected, as Stanislavski states, and I quote, "There is an indissoluble link between tempo rhythm and feeling, and conversely between feeling and tempo rhythm. They are interconnected, interdependent, and interactive." End quote, Stanislavski, 2008. This establishing of vocal or physical tempo rhythms and then breaking them is another way of implementing the contradictory nature of Verfremdung, and I quote, "Brecht himself intentionally sought to disrupt previously established models of performance tempo, as well as seeking to explore more irregular approaches to metric form, seeing these as a way of opening up new interpretation and meanings within spoken language." End quote, Morris, 2017. For instance, one scene may involve a character that is using multiple rhythms rapidly one after another to create a sense of uneasiness or chaos, followed by a character who speaks slowly and directly, creating a moment of clarity. On the other hand, the disruption may also be used by a single character who has a steady tempo rhythm vocally and are delivering unemotional lines, but goes off the beat when they say something more emotionally fueled or significant to hear, just as Shakespeare used iambic pentameter but broke this meter when a character was delivering an important line. Through experimentation with these contradictory characters, one discovers the varying distance that can occur between an actor and their character. This has led to the unearthing of a scale of distance in performance. At one end, the actor is distant from their character, as Brecht desired his actors to be. Then the scale continues as the distance between character and actor grows smaller. In the middle, there exists a more realism style of performance. And then to the opposite end of the scale, where the actor is no longer performing and is completely themselves. Once established, this scale can be played with in rehearsals, so the spectators can observe where each character sits on the scale in order to create rhythmically juxtaposing scenes. Wherever each character places on this scale of distance and performance, vocal tempo rhythms are a concrete aid for the actor to work with. Contradictory tempo rhythms have been investigated not only for the purposes of dialectical theatre, but also by realism director Michael Chekhov, as he states, and I quote, "The effect of two contrasting tempos running simultaneously on the stage unfailingly makes a strong impression on an audience." End quote, Chekhov in Morris, 2017. Therefore, contradictory tempo rhythms can be implemented simultaneously, but also consecutively, to explore connection to the spectator. As mentioned, when an actor is his or herself, there is likely to be an emotional, or perhaps personal, investment from the spectator in what the actor is saying. At the opposite end of the scale, the distance between actor and character also results in a distance between actor and spectator, otherwise known as Verfremdung, thus creating the objective spectator who is open to dialectical debate. Whilst contradictions are a useful tool to experiment with the connection to the spectator, a more specific aspect of vocal tempo rhythms is the use of breath. Opening a piece with an extended period where all the audience hears is the actor breathing steadily, naturally the audience will most likely sync their breathing or consciously choose not to. This syncing is a process of rhythmic entrainment, which is when, and I quote, "two or more independent rhythmic processes can interact with each other to gradually synchronize." End quote, Morris, 2017. This can be seen when two or more people walk together, their footsteps have a tendency to match up. Or when an audience is applauding, the claps begin to join and become one singular communal clap. The connection between human bodies and rhythm is reflected in how rhythmic chanting can lead to trance states, or how students write essays faster when listening to fast-paced drum and bass music. Through the unconscious synchronizing or through the conscious asynchronizing of breath, a form of connection is established between actor and spectator. In summary, contradictory application of differing tempo rhythms in an actor's voice can create either distance, and therefore Verfremdung, or create a connection through the actor using their free voice. Either way, the voice is a key performative tool in expressing thoughts, feelings, desires, or facts, and detailed practical application of the voice in training and rehearsals establishes a strong foundation from which an actor can communicate with and connect to their audience, but also to their character. Thank you for listening.